They say the truth has a way of arriving, not slowly, not gently. It pulls up in a black SUV on a Tuesday afternoon when nobody is ready for it. And it does not knock. It does not apologize. It simply arrives. His name was Barrister Femi Adeyemi. He had been looking for this compound for 12 years, not because he could not find it, because every time he sent something here, it disappeared. Inside that envelope was 13 years of truth, a name, a photograph, a DNA result, and a secret that one woman in this compound had been paid to keep. Stay with me, because the part where she gets found out, that is the part that will make your jaw drop twice. Amara Chukwu had been waking before the rest of the house since she was 6 years old. Not because anyone asked her to anymore, but because 13 years of being needed before you are wanted teaches your body to rise before anyone can come looking for you. It is easier that way. It is safer. She had been told when she was 13 that university was not for people like her. Learn a trade, her Aunt Ngozi had said, not unkindly, which is the most dangerous way to say a cruel thing. Not unkindly, like she was doing Amara a favor by lowering her ceiling early, so she would not waste energy trying to reach it. There is a very specific kind of pain in being raised by people who see you as an obligation. It is not the shouting that breaks you. It is the small things. Being served last. Being spoken about like you are not in the room. Watching someone else get chosen again and again while you are merely tolerated. Chidinma wore designer pieces bought on weekend trips to Lagos. Amara wore hand-me-downs with the tags cut out, so no one would ask uncomfortable questions. Chidinma had a birthday party every year. Amara got a happy birthday muttered in passing, and a full day of housework regardless. But here is what they never accounted for. A girl who has been underestimated her whole life becomes very, very good at learning in the dark. She watches everything. She remembers everything. She stores everything away. For a day she is not sure will ever come, but refuses to stop believing in. And then, late one humid night, carrying a tray of forgotten dinner dishes past her aunt's bedroom, Amara heard something she was never supposed to hear. Her aunt hissing into a phone. The inheritance papers. The man in Port Harcourt. If that girl ever finds out who her father is, everything changes for us. Everything. Amara stood frozen in that hallway. She did not fully understand it yet, but she would 11 days later. 11 days after that dark hallway, a car pulled into that compound. Unlike anything the neighborhood had ever seen. The kind of car that makes everyone stop what they are doing. The kind of car that arrives with its own silence. Aunt Ngozi came out smiling. She was very good at smiling. 13 years of practice. But behind the smile, something was calculating very fast. I'm here for Amara Chukwu, he said. Only Amara. Aunt Ngozi's smile froze halfway. Amara, say she's just the she helps around the house. I have the right house, he said. I've had it for 12 years. I simply could not find the right girl inside it because someone has been returning my letters unopened for over a decade. Amara came out of the kitchen, wiping her hands. She had no idea if she was in trouble. 13 years in that house had trained her to always assume the worst. The lawyer looked at her and something shifted in his face. Not surprise, recognition. He handed her the envelope with both hands. The way you hand something to a person you already respect. This belongs to you. he said. It always has. Amara looked at her name on the front. She had never seen her name on anything official before. Not once. In 19 years, inside was a letter, a photograph, and a sealed document marked DNA verification results. The man in the photograph had her exact eyes, her exact jaw, the same quality of stillness in the face. Chief Emeka Okonkwo-Bell, billionaire, oil and shipping magnate, her father, the father she had been told did not exist. Her mother, before she passed, had hidden the truth to shield Amara from a bitter custody battle. And when grief took her mother, the letters meant to bring Amara home kept arriving at this address year after year for 12 years, and not one of them had ever left it. Aunt Ngozi's face changed color in real time. Chidima dropped her phone on the tiled floor and did not move to pick it up. The girl they had called the burden was about to become the sole heir to a shipping empire worth over $400 million. Then the lawyer opened the sealed document. The compound was so silent. You could hear the paper unfold. He read it. He looked at Amara. He said, "Confirmed. 99.98% match. Miss Chukwu, you are Chief Okonkwo-Bell's daughter." Without question, Amara did not cry. She did not smile. She stood completely still and felt something shift inside her that had nothing to do with money and everything to do with belonging. She had a father. She had always had a father. He had been looking for her. He had never stopped looking. But the lawyer was not finished. He turned slowly to face Aunt Ngozi, and the warmth left his voice completely. He said, "The chief also asked me to inform you that he knows about the agreement you signed 12 years ago." Aunt Ngozi went completely still. "The agreement where you promised to contact us if the girl showed any signs of the family resemblance. He knows you saw it. He knows you said nothing. 12 years ago, when the first DNA test came back inconclusive, the chief's legal team had contacted Aunt Ngozi directly. They had asked her to watch the girl, to report back if the resemblance became unmistakable, and they had paid her for it monthly for 12 years. She had not just intercepted letters. She had been paid to watch Amara. She had taken the money every month and watched this girl sleep in the smallest room, eat the smallest plate, wear the cutout tag hand-me-downs. While being paid to protect her, she kept the money and she kept the secret, and she used the girl the whole time. Amara looked at her aunt. She did not raise her voice. She did not cry. She simply looked, and in that look was 13 years of mornings before sunrise, 13 years of smallest plates, 13 years of cutout tags and borrowed rooms. And university is not for people like you. Aunt Ngozi looked away first. She had never been able to hold a gaze that knew the whole truth. 3 weeks after Amara walked out of that compound, she walked into a courtroom, not because she wanted to, because Aunt Ngozi had filed a case, claiming she deserved compensation for raising the girl she used as house help for 13 years. What Aunt Ngozi did not know was that Barrister Adeyemi had been building a case for 12 years. Letters, records, evidence, and something else. Something she said herself into a phone when she thought nobody was listening. Because when that recording played in open court. Even her own lawyer did not know it was coming, and his face said everything her words would not. Chief Emeka Okonkwo-Bell read the court papers twice before he said a single word. He was not an easily rattled man. 3 decades in oil and shipping had taught him that people fight hardest when they know deep down they are standing on nothing. But this was bold, even for a woman he had never met. Aunt Ngozi was claiming, through her lawyer, that she had raised Amara as her own daughter for 13 years and was therefore entitled to compensation from the estate, a portion of the inheritance, for what she called the sacrifice of upbringing. Amara laughed when she heard it. Not the kind of laugh that means something is funny, the kind that comes out when something is so absurd, it physically has to escape your body. She fed me leftovers, Amara said quietly, and now she wants to be paid for it. Her father set the papers down. Do you want to fight this? Amara looked at him. I don't want to fight her with anger, she said. I want to fight her with the truth. Every letter she hid, every year she lied. Let the court see all of it. Barrister Adeyemi had spent 12 years building a case he never thought he would need in a courtroom. He had assumed once Amara was found, the story would end quietly. It didn't, so he opened the file he had kept locked away. 12 years of returned letters. Postal records showing delivery to that exact address. And something else. Something Aunt Ngozi did not know still existed. Barrister Adeyemi began methodically. Postal records showing 12 years of letters delivered to that exact compound address. All of them signed for, none of them forwarded. Aunt Ngozi's lawyer objected twice. Both objections were overruled. And then Barrister Adeyemi reached into his folder and produced something that changed the temperature in the room. Years earlier, when Chief Okonkwo-Bell first suspected his daughter was being hidden from him, he had hired a private investigator. That investigator had recorded a phone call. Aunt Ngozi speaking to a relative, saying words she believed would never leave that conversation. The judge nodded. Barrister Adeyemi pressed play, and in the complete silence of that courtroom, Aunt Ngozi's own voice filled the room. If Emeka ever finds that girl, our own children lose everything. Let him think she is dead, like her mother. The courtroom did not gasp. It went completely silent, the kind of silence that is louder than noise. Aunt Ngozi's lawyer put his pen down. He looked at his client. She would not look back at him. He had not known, and his face in that moment said everything her silence would not. In the back row, Chidinma stood up. She could not stay seated. She walked out slowly. The specific walk of someone who has made a decision in the middle of a public moment about who they are going to be. As she passed Amara's table, she stopped. She placed a folded piece of paper in front of her. She did not speak. She kept walking. Nobody in that courtroom knew what was written on it. Not yet. Aunt Ngozi watched the door close behind her daughter, and something left her face that had been there for 12 years. The calculation gone. What was left was just a woman who had chosen wrong so many times. She had lost count of what she was protecting. Aunt Ngozi's lawyer had one move left. He tried to use Amara's mother against her. Isn't it true, he said, that your mother herself chose to keep you from your father? That the fault for this separation lies with her, not my client. The room turned to Amara. She did not flinch. The night before, Barrister Adeyemi had placed a folder quietly in front of her. Inside, a letter written by her mother, Ijeoma, dated 3 months before she died. Amara had read it alone, at midnight, in a room she was still learning to call hers. She had held it for a long time before she put it down. Ijeoma had not hidden Amara to punish anyone. She had run because the chief's own family, his mother specifically, had threatened her, told her that a child born outside their approved family lineage would never be accepted, would never be safe, and that if she ever tried to claim inheritance rights for her daughter, accidents happen to women like you. She hid Amara to protect her, not from her father, from his family. Amara read part of the letter aloud. Her voice shook for the first time since this whole ordeal began. Not from anger, from grief. Real, complicated grief. For a mother who had carried a burden alone and never once told her daughter the weight of what she was protecting her from, Chief Okonkwo, sitting 3 rows back, wept openly. He had not known either. His own mother had threatened the woman he loved, had driven her away, had cost him 12 years and a daughter, and he had never been told. But there was one more thing in the letter. 3 months before she died, Ijeoma had written to the chief himself a final letter telling him exactly where Amara was, asking him to find her, to bring her home. That letter was never received. The chief had never seen it, which meant someone inside his own household had intercepted it, and that person was still there. The judge did not take long. Aunt Ngozi's claim dismissed entirely, not denied, dismissed, with a formal note in the ruling condemning her conduct in intercepting the letters. He called it, in his own words, a deliberate and sustained deception that deprived a child of her father for over a decade. There would be no compensation, no settlement, nothing. Outside the courthouse, cameras flashed. Aunt Ngozi said nothing. She simply lowered her head and walked to her car, alone. While Chidinma stood several feet away, unable to look at her, Amara did not gloat. She did not smile for the cameras. She turned to her father, took his arm, and walked away from that courthouse toward the rest of her life. That night, alone in the quiet of her new room, Amara unfolded Chidinma's note. She read it twice. Then she sat very still for a long time. Chidinma knew something about the letter her mother sent to the chief. The one that never arrived. The one intercepted by someone inside his own household. Chidinma knew, and she was willing to tell. In the next episode, Amara finds Chidinma and what Chidinma tells her about who intercepted that final letter is going to change everything you think you know about the chief himself. Comment truth below if justice was served today. Or tell me, did you expect Chidinma to walk out? Subscribe to Moonlight Tales by Joy. New series every Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sunday. Please like the video and share it with someone. Drop in the comments what you felt about our story so far. I read every single one of it. Thank you.